For the last 4 years, Richard Helliger and I have been experimenting with a variety of differential controllers. Our objective has been to maximize quality, performance, and usability while keeping the price down. We believe that solar applications should save us more than we spend. Richard specializes in digitally programmable controllers that isolate the differential pump on settings from the differential pump off setting. My controllers are based on an analog design. They integrate these settings so the user only has to make one adjustment to balance the sun energy harvest with the power required to make that harvest. Congratulations on the completion of the enclosed differential controller. Now we're ready for testing, but instead of using thermistor probes that change resistance with temperature, we'll use a set of variable resistors to simulate temperature changes between 5 degrees Fahrenheit and 250 degrees Fahrenheit. The pot on the left simulates collector temperature, and the pot on the right simulates storage temperature. The central pin of this 3-pin connector is used to measure the differential voltage. We'll use this to estimate the differential temperature. For our first experiment, we'll set our differential pot midway between energy collection and energy conservation. The test fixture pots are also adjusted in the mid-range, so the collector and the storage temperatures are both about 70 degrees Fahrenheit. Notice that both LEDs are off and the differential voltage is midway between the plus 5 volt reference and ground, or 2.5 volts. For the remainder of this experiment, we'll keep the storage temperature the same at 70 degrees Fahrenheit to simplify the demonstration. The collector temperature is increased to 79 degrees Fahrenheit, and the red pump indicator LED is still off. But you should notice that the green LED is beginning to glow and the differential voltage has increased to 2.89 volts. The collector temperature is now increased to 80 degrees Fahrenheit, and the differential voltage has increased to 2.91 volts. This differential is high enough to activate the pump and turn on the red LED. Let's continue to raise the collector temperature and see what happens. Now the collector temperature is 105 degrees Fahrenheit, and the differential is 3.51 volts, and the pump is still on, as expected. Also, notice that the green differential indicator is glowing more brightly as the differential increases. What do you think would happen if we turn the collector temperature back down? When the collector temperature is turned down to 71 degrees Fahrenheit, the differential voltage drops to 2.52 volts, and the green differential LED is out. But notice the pump is still on. The latch circuit keeps the pump on until the collector temperature gets closer to the storage temperature. At a collector temperature of 70 degrees Fahrenheit, the pump finally turns off. This is a very low differential setting, and I do not recommend very low differential settings. But remember, the differential pot can be adjusted. A moderate counterclockwise adjustment maximizes heat gain, while a clockwise adjustment maximizes energy conservation. So, the best pot adjustment will normally be halfway between the devil and the deep blue sea. Let's increase the differential and see what happens. The differential pot has been turned clockwise to increase the differential point. At 70 degrees Fahrenheit, the pump is off, and there is no discernible difference in temperature. At 88 degrees Fahrenheit, notice the pump is still off, but the green differential LED is glowing. At 90 degrees Fahrenheit, the pump comes on, and the green LED continues to glow more brightly. The collector temperature is now raised to 130 degrees Fahrenheit, and the differential voltage is 4.69 volts, and of course the pump is still on. And the differential indicator LED is now very bright. When the collector temperature drops below 80 degrees Fahrenheit, the differential voltage drops and the pump finally turns off. We can also turn the pump on and off by adjusting the storage temperature. Remember, the differential controller is controlled by a difference in temperature and the differential pot adjustment. So, if the collector and storage temperatures are both set at 145 degrees, the differential voltage will be halfway between plus 5 volts and 0. The pump will be off and there will be no differential indicated. If the differential setting is too low, a pump will come on prematurely, cool down the collector within a matter of minutes, and then shut down the pump. The on-off cycle will continue and the heat harvest will be maximized, but the power used to harvest the heat will also be maximized. This is the reason for the differential adjustment. Every application is a little different, and the best adjustment for every system will also be a little different, whether an analog or digital controller is used. In bright sun, a collector temperature can exceed 200 degrees Fahrenheit under stagnation conditions. But in dim sunlight the temperature still rises, but not as much. So how should the differential be set? Is a 10-degree differential temperature between collector and storage too low? Is it worth turning on a pump to collect the same quantity of energy that the pump consumes? This balancing point differential adjustment is a little different for every system. The green differential indicator helps the user zero in on the best differential setting. It should have a healthy differential glow before the pump comes on. If it's not bright enough and the pump does come on, the differential should be turned clockwise. If it's too bright before the pump engages, it should be turned counterclockwise. Back off a little. That's all there is to it. To find out more about differential controllers and differential indicators, Google differential controller kits or visit JC Solar Homes.
Folks call me a maverick, guess I ain't too diplomatic. I just never been the kind to go along, just avoiding confrontation for the sake of confirmation. And I'll admit I tend to sing a different song. And sometimes you just can't be afraid to wear a different hat. If Columbus had complied, this whole world might still be flat. Nothing venture, nothing gain. Sometimes you got to go against the grain. Well, I've been accused of making my own rules. There must be rebel blood just running through my veins. But I ain't no hypocrite, 'cause what you see is what you get, and that's the only way I know to play the game. Oh no, it took much ridicule for building his great ark, but after 40 days and 40 nights he was looking pretty smart. Sometimes it's best to brave the wind and the rain by having the strength to